Hey y'all, so I figured I'd come on here and do kind of like a story time. Not really a story time, but a story time. About my spiritual journey and something that I experienced yesterday. It was pretty interesting to me, so figure I'll let y'all know. But while I'm doing that, I'm gonna be refreshing whatever I got going on here. I washed my hair today with these in there, and like, yeah, they looking crazy. But anyway, so first I just want to start off by saying yesterday I got a phone call from my dad about probably like 5 or 6 o'clock yesterday, and he told me that basically my grandmother had passed. So he was saying we're still at the house now, we're still waiting for them to come remove her body. And I was like, okay, my grandma has been sick for a while now. She fell and broke her hip a few months back, and yeah, she's been declining ever since. So we knew the time was coming, but we just didn't know when. But yesterday was the day. So she passed yesterday, and it's crazy because the night before I had this dream, right, that I was inside of a church. And I woke up thinking, like, why am I dreaming about being inside of a church? I ain't been inside of a church in years, but I feel like that was a sign. That should have told me, like, you about to be going to a funeral soon. But, of course, I didn't put two and two together. I'm new in the spiritual journey, so I'm still learning. But I feel like that definitely was a sign that her time was definitely coming very soon. But, so, and then yesterday, it was so strange. I was literally in my bedroom all day, like with my door shut. And I just had this strange feeling like if I looked out in the hallway, I was going to see something that was going to scare me. So I just had my door shut like the whole day. Like I did not go out there unless I needed to use the bathroom or get something to eat for my son or something like that. Other than that, we was in this room all day yesterday. And my son kept saying, "Mommy, why you scared? I could protect you." And I kept telling him, like, I'm not scared. What you talking about? But it's like, I guess he felt my energy. I was scared as shit. I was really scared. I didn't know what the hell was going on or what I was going to see. But when I got that phone call, I'm like, okay, this is weird. All right. Got to do a part 2. Stay tuned. So like I was saying, I was in this room all day. In addition to being in this room all day, I had my window open. I literally, where my bed is, I'm on my bed right now, but look to this side, it's a window. I'm going to show y'all my window. So my window is right here. I literally had my window open all day. Mind you, it's cold as shit, but the air and just, I don't know. It just seemed to calm me for some reason. So I had my window open, like literally open all day. And I just kept getting this strange feeling like something was up. I just didn't know what. I'm like, yo, something's going on. So when I got that phone call, it all started to kind of make sense. Now, one thing about me, I'm clairaudient. And if you don't know what that is, it's when basically like you hear stuff. Like you ever been in a house and you feel like you hear something and you stop and you be like, and you like, nah, I'm tripping. Like, ain't nobody here. It's no way I can hear nothing. Like, I'm tripping right now. Basically, that's what I am. But I've always been that way since I was little. Like, I've always had these feelings like I could see stuff. Like, literally, I'll be sleeping in my bed. And still to this day, I do this. When I'm in my bed at night, I sleep with my head under the covers. And it started when I was younger because I used to feel like, okay, if I take my head out of the covers and look out into the darkness, I'm going to see something. And I was terrified, like, especially as a little kid, like, you don't want to see nothing. So I've always slept with my head under the covers. But yeah, so yesterday, I just kept feeling like I was hearing stuff in my house. And I'm like, what is that? Like, I didn't know what it is, but it kept happening. So I'm like, yeah, definitely the door staying shut. Like, I was scared. So after I got that phone call, I started to hear it a lot more. Like, literally a lot more. And it was like, no matter what I tried to do, what I did to just try to distract my mind, like, nothing was working. Like, I just kept hearing stuff. So then I started to feel like I was hearing, like, footsteps, like, coming up my steps. And I'm like, yo, like, it's nobody here but me and my son. Like, why am I hearing footsteps? Like, it was scaring me. But I was trying to thug it out for my son. Like, you know, not trying to let him know I was scared, but literally was scared of shit. But thugging it out for him. So then, shit, I talk too fucking much. Another part. Stay tuned. So then I'm like, you know, let me just try to clear my mind, you know, like try to just lay down and like rest. Like maybe sleep. I don't know. Like I got to do something to get this off my mind. So I had my son watching my laptop. He was watching, I don't even know what he was watching. Some little kid show, probably Coco Melon or something like that. But he was watching a show on my laptop. And I'm laying down and I'm literally like laying on my back, but my head is underneath the window. And I had 2 crystals on my windowsill. I had my amethyst crystal and I had my rose quartz crystal, because I always sleep with them crystals in my window. So I had those 2 crystals in my window and I'm laying there. So then I started to feel this weird feeling in my body, right? And it was like my whole body was just like tingling. And I'm laying there like, yo, what the heck is going on? I just kept saying in my mind, you know, just ground yourself, just stay grounded. So one thing about me, like in this spiritual journey, that's one of the things like I really have a problem with. Like I have a problem with keeping myself grounded. Like for some reason, no matter what I do, like I cannot seem to stay grounded. So I just kept saying like, you know, stay grounded. So I felt myself like drifting, but it started to feel like I was weightless, like I was being lifted, like I was being taken somewhere. And it was so weird because I'm laying there like, yo, what is going on? Like I hear myself thinking, but like I have no control over my body. I'm like, yo, what is going on? This is like an out of body experience. So I'm laying there and I just kept telling myself like, you know, stay grounded, relax. It wasn't a scary feeling though. It was something I've never experienced before, but I wanted to experience it. I'm like, what is this? Like what is going on with my body? So my son, he kept talking to me. He like, Mom, like saying stuff about the show, like, Mom, look at this, Mom. So every time he did that, it's like I snapped out of it and I would like look. But then every time I started to drift, like I go right back into it. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, my spirit guys are definitely trying to connect with me. Like they're trying to connect with me. They're trying to send me a download, a message, whatever you want to call it. But it just, I don't know. But I just felt like that's what was happening. So I finally got my son to relax, lay down, go to sleep. Stay tuned for my next part. So after I finally got my son to relax and go to sleep, I was laying there and it wasn't really happening again. But like I said, I know my ancestors was definitely trying to tell me something. They was definitely trying to give me a message, but I just didn't know what. So I'm laying there in the dark and I'm, you know, trying to go to sleep. But as I feel myself drifting off to sleep, I start talking to myself. I'm like, listen, I know those were my ancestors trying to send me a download. They were trying to give me a message. I just don't know what it is, the message that you're trying to give me. I don't understand what it is that you're trying to tell me. What is it that you need me to know? Please come to me in the form of a dream to help me better understand what it is that you're trying to show me. So y'all, when I finally drift off to sleep, when I tell y'all, I had the most vivid dream I ever had in my entire life. It was so weird, like, and it felt so real. But the crazy thing is, in my dream, now I'm gonna tell y'all my dream, and then I'm gonna tell y'all my interpretation of my dream. Again, I'm new in my spiritual journey, so I don't really know if this is exactly what my ancestors was trying to tell me. But if you are in your spiritual journey and you see this video and you kind of have an idea or can kind of help me understand what this dream was, by all means, leave a comment, let me know. But I'm gonna grab my journal, because when I woke up, I wrote it down in my journal. So I'm going to read to y'all exactly what I wrote. And it was literally 1:51 a.m. when I woke up. I wrote the time and everything. But I'm going to tell you what I wrote. So I said, I had a dream that there was a bad person in my home trying to spread evil. She did something to my baby and I began to snap. I was trying to fight her and she ran down the stairs and out the door. When the door closed, it opened right back up. And my sister and niece came in. I feel like that dream was trying to tell me that there is a bad spirited person out there, to be able to tell the difference so that I can protect my home and my children. Be careful who I allow in my home and be careful of the company I keep. Again, the dream was weird. Like, it was a lady in my house and she's talking to me about spiritual stuff. Like, and I'm like listening to her, like, you know, maybe I can learn from her. So she's telling me stuff. So out of nowhere, she just started being like evil. And she like hit, I don't know what the heck she did to my son, but she did something to him and he bursted out in tears. Stay tuned. So again, it was this lady in my house. And it was just me and my youngest son there. And she was basically in her spiritual journey. And she's like talking to me about, you know, some things that I can do to heighten my gifts. And, you know, you can do this and you can do that. And like basically like talking to me about different stuff that I could do. And I'm new in my spiritual journey. And I'm literally like listening to her. I'm like, okay, you know, this lady know what she's talking about. I need to listen to her. So then she did something to my son. And when I tell you, my son bursted out in tears. Like, he was crying. And I just felt this negative, like, spirit in my dream. Like, it just felt so negative. And I'm like, I snapped. Like, if you know me, you know. Like, when it comes to my kids, that's one thing I'm not going to play with. You can play all day. You can say what you want about me. You can say what you want about anything that got something to do with me. But when you bring up my kids or you do something to my kids, it's an issue. So when my son bursted out in tears, I looked at her and I started snapping. I'm like, I'm about to beat you. Bloop, 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 bloop. I'm cussing her out. I'm like running up to her. Like, I'm trying to fight her, trying to hit her. She's running, blocking, doing all this, trying to block herself. When I tell you I'm going for blood, like I'm going for blood, I'm really trying to hurt this lady because now you got my baby crying. So she runs out the room and she runs down the steps and out the door. So when she runs down the steps and out the door, I go to my son and I pick him up and I'm like, it's okay, you know, pat him, like trying to calm him down. And it's crazy because just as the door shut, the door opened up again. So in my head, oh, she coming back. Oh, she wants some more. So put my son down and I go to run to the door. But as I get to my doorway to go out into the hallway, it's my sister and my niece walking in. So I'm telling my sister, like, yes, it was just a lady here. And da-da-da-da-da. I'm letting her know everything that happened. I'm like, she did something to Enoch. And I was trying to fight her. And da-da. My sister, like, calm down. Like, but she like, I ain't see nobody when I was coming in. And I'm like, no, it was somebody just here. Like, just when you left. Just when she left, you came in. Like, it was crazy. Like, she was just here. And that's when I woke up. And it was, like, crazy to me. Because I'm like, what in the world is this dream trying to tell me? And then, like I said, I feel like there's some spiritual people out there that are not all they are saying that they are. And I feel like my guys was telling me to be mindful and be careful of the company I keep. And don't allow everybody in my house. So this is my last part. I'm just basically going to bring it all together. So like I said, I feel like in that dream, my spirit guides was trying to tell me, like, be mindful of the company I keep. Don't allow everybody into your personal space. Don't allow everybody into your home. Watch out for people who claim to be spiritual but are not really on the type time you're on, because there are spiritual people who are good, and I believe that there are spiritual people that are bad, that use their gifts for evil. Me, that's not what I'm on. Like, my thing is self-love, building myself, being able to talk to my ancestors, work with my ancestors, my spirit guides, and basically good. Like, I'm not on that negative, oh, let me figure out a spell so I can hurt this person. No, I'm not on that. So again, I just feel like my ancestors were basically telling me, like, be careful out here, because some of these people ain't what they say they are. And it's crazy that I had that dream, because lately I've been watching YouTube videos like crazy, like different YouTube videos, subscribing to different YouTube channels of people, and trying to understand like what it is that I can do. I done joined so many spiritual groups. Like, I started off in one spiritual group, and I think I'm in about probably 5 different spiritual groups now. And like, I'm meeting all these new people. I'm reading their stories about some stuff they experienced, and I'm just sitting there like, dang, like, I can't wait till I get to the point where I got a story to share, because like, they deep in theirs and I'm new. So I'm like, I can't wait till I get to the point where I can post and say like something I experienced. But I feel like now I definitely got to be careful. Don't just add people out these spiritual groups like, okay, this person, they're in their spiritual journey too, so they'll understand me. Let me talk to them. Let me connect with them. Maybe they can help me. Maybe they can guide me. No, gotta be careful. If it's anything I learned from that dream, it's be careful. And that is all. So, yeah. That's it, and that's all. I'm going to be careful. I'm going to listen to my spirit guides. I feel like that's what they was telling me, and that's what I'm going to go with. But if you are in your spiritual journey and you experience something similar, kind of what happened or what's going on, and you want to share it, leave it in the comments. If you kind of have a different interpretation on my dream, also leave it in the comments. Bye.